LakelandCarKeys.com. Currently working on, I believe this is a 2011 Mercedes Benz E350. The customer had this EIS that was already taken apart and out when I got here, and they have a used unit that they want me to program the information to. So I'm going to go ahead and use the xhorse Q2 Plus with the multi-function adapter and the EIS solderless adapter, and read the EEPROM and flash out of the original, which will give them all their stored keys, password, VIN information, and everything, and program it into the used unit. Now, ideally, if this car, everything else is good on it, we should be able to plug the new flashed unit in and directly start up with the keys. But this particular vehicle, as soon as I got in it, I could smell that it's been underwater. There's water damage in there. Who knows what else is wrong with it. It's sitting at a tow company, so if it doesn't start, that's not on me. I am going to go ahead and show you the process of how I do this. I know it's kind of hard with the screen glare to see. Let me see. I'm going to see if I can set up somewhere a little bit better so you can see the screen better. Alright, so I'm going to try my best to get this on video, but basically from the main screen of the Q2 Plus, we want to go into the programmer. Alright, and then we're going to go into EMO functions. We can go ahead and select bins, and this is an EIS, I think this is a 212 ST. So we're going to scroll up. Actually, I'm sorry, it's a 211 ST. So we're going to go ahead and select 211 ST and then select adapter. So what we want to do, this is the original. We want to read both files and save them. So we're going to go ahead and read EEPROM, start. Now I am connected to 14 volts right now. That's plugged into the unit, so it has plenty of power. And basically what it's doing is going to go ahead and try to crack the encryption on the chip. So that's why we want to make sure we have plenty of voltage, and we also want to be connected to the internet. And it has 50 attempts before it locks out. And if it locks out, just back out and try it again. Alright, so crack failed. We're going to go ahead and try to start operation again. Just make sure everything's plugged in, everything has a good connection. Continue. Alright, and there we go. We got it the second time. So it's going to give you this file where you could go ahead and save it. You know, change the name to something you might remember, like this shop. I could put in their shop name and the model, but save it just in case you ever have to go back to it. And then we're just going to go ahead and save. But if you had to edit information, you could hit save and edit, and it'll bring up the hex data for you to change information, but we don't need to do that. Alright, so now we have our EEPROM. We got to go back, and we want to read again, and we want to read our flash. Alright, I'm going to start, continue, and the same thing, it has to crack the chip. Alright, and there it goes. It started reading. So it gives you a little status over here on this side, and it says crack already done. Read. Once we're done, we're going to go ahead and save this file, and then we're done with this EIS. We could put the new one. Alright, save that. So when I'm flashing this information to a used EIS, if they happen to have all the other information from that, then they can go ahead and you know, you could just go ahead and, well, if they have matching DMEs and other stuff, you might want to back up that information. Tell them 1 minute. And then if not, you know, I just write over them. If it's just a used junkyard pullout, I just write over them. So now that I have the other unit, the quote-unquote new unit, I'm going to put it back in the holder. I just want to show you real quick. This is the solderless adapter up in the two corners. The corners are slanted, and down the bottom, the two squares, and it's see-through. You can see at the bottom. So when you put it in, just match up. You see how those two corners are square, slanted? Just match it up that way, and then you could look underneath and make sure that your pins are on contact points. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this one set up, and then we'll write the information to it. All right, so I'm hoping this is a good connection. So if you keep trying to read something that's not reading, just, you know, take that out, put it back in, make sure you have a good connection there. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and try to write. I'm gonna start with the flash. We're gonna hit start. And it says, please select a file that needs to be operated on. So we're gonna go ahead. And so what we can do is we're gonna see the pad prog that has some information with today's date on it. Boom, boom, boom. Again, that's today's date. And I read both sets of files and saved them twice. So I can have one file to play with and one file to back up. So we're just gonna go ahead and read that flash file, open it, select OK, continue, and then it's gonna do cracks again. Come on. All right, so we didn't make it that time. Let's go back, hit that right again, flash, start, okay. We're gonna go ahead and get our file, open, and go ahead and look at cracked on the first hit. So we're gonna go ahead and let this write, and then once it's done writing, I'll cut back in and we'll do the EEPROM section, and then I'll put this back in the case and plug it into the car and see what it does. All right, so now we're in there, the write's complete. I'm gonna go ahead and back out, hit write again, and this time we could select EEPROM, and we're gonna hit start, okay. Go in our file and then select the EEPROM file, and then open, okay, continue, and then go ahead and let it try to crack. Now, when I originally went through this process off camera and I read that first EEPROM and flash file, both of them cracked immediately. And then when I went back to doing video, this is what we're getting. We're getting, you know, it's going through some attempts, it fails. Not a big issue. We're gonna just go ahead and select it again. EEPROM, and then go ahead and write it. Okay, let's try this again. And I'm not sure what it's actually doing when it's trying to crack this EEPROM or this chip open. It might be just like rolling codes where it, you know, goes through a sequence, and, you know, maybe it might be, you know, 150 different options, and we caught it on the first time. When we go back the second time, it's still going through that sequence. And so this is interesting. It failed twice, but we just go ahead, go back, try this one more time. If not, I'll have to just keep attempting it off camera, but you get the idea of what's done. Come on, baby. And then again, you know, if this one fails, I'll probably take the adapter out, reseat it, and back all the way out and try starting again, because something's hanging up somewhere. Come on, come on, come on, come on. All right, well, let me reset this and we'll start again. Alright, so I just reseated this. Let's see how good we got our connection. So again, from the beginning main screen, we're going to go into Programmer, Emo, select bins. We got the 211 ST12, 211, and then we're going to do adapter. And then we're going to write. We want to write our EEPROM, start, oops. Go and select our write file, open it. Yep, this EEPROM's encryption seems to be pretty hard. Let's see, right, EEPROM. Oh. Same thing, different file. I don't think it really makes a difference, but if worse comes to worse, if this won't do with the adapter, the other option, which was weld, which is soldering, I'd have to bring it back to the shop and get on the bench and solder wires to it, and hopefully it'd crack it a little bit easier than. For whatever reason, this is giving me a hard time, but this is good. This is the stuff I like to catch on video so I can show you guys. You know, not everything's always cut and dry, and sometimes you gotta just keep attempting to get it through. But let me pause it and try to get this going, and then I'll show you that it successfully wrote. And I kid you not, I paused it and I just hit start operation. I didn't have to go back and reset the file, and literally you see the timestamps. So boom, all within a second. It goes from 31 to 33, and that's when it starts doing information, do the crack, 34, write, all of that, to write that EEPROM, 1 second. Alright, so, you know I've been showing y'all going back out, but you can just hit the start operation again once it fails, and it will loop back in. So that's what I ended up doing, and it wrote right there. So now I could get this one back together, get it in the car, and cross our fingers that it starts. If it doesn't start, then you know they got other issues that they got to go ahead and look for. Alright, so I just want to do a quick add-on. Once you have your EIS file saved into the computer, you have your password, you have, you know, it'll give you the information on all the keys that are currently stored in there. So this customer had 2 used keys. I don't know what they're from. I don't know which EIS they're from. So basically, if I want to go in and verify the information, I have the original car's information. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Emo Programming from the main screen, select bins. We're going to select from System, and up top we're going to select EIS Tools. We can start programming, and then we're going to select 211. That's the EIS that we're working with, and we want to read the EEPROM file. So we'll select OK. From default, it brings you into the Mercedes Benz file folder, but remember, when we read through the programmer, it saved those files in the programmer folder. So we're going to click all the way up here and go back to local file, select pad prog, scroll it down, because for whatever reason it doesn't show all the way up the top. And then we're going to select today's date. Those are the files that we did. And then we select that EEPROM file. I'm going to go ahead and open it. And this will show us all the information, the password, the keys that are in the system. And then we can, if these keys are readable, we can read these keys and verify that one of these key numbers here are the same as one of the keys that we have. If not, if this key is readable, we can try virginizing it and added it in, or we could just sell the customer a new key and add it into another slot. Alright, so both of those original keys that they had, I wasn't able to get either one of them to read infrared, so I just grabbed a new key and I went ahead and wrote the file to it. I should have showed you. Alright, so basically what you do is put a new key in, you select write BE file. It's going to tell you to load the file, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go back and I forget, I hate this because I forget how to get this stupid keyboard down when you accidentally hit it. Alright, hold on. Alright, so we went back to the local file. We're going to select pad prog again, today's date, EEPROM, open. Oops, sorry, went to the wrong thing. Yep, nope, that was right. So it says insert BE key into the infrared antenna. So we have our new key there. We select OK. Alright, I failed to access. It might not do it twice because I just did it. But basically that's where you would go through and it would go through and write it. So we're going to go ahead and test this on the vehicle and see if we get any action.